We know AI can generate art and write stories, but can it craft an engaging video for kids? I put AI storytelling to the test, and how did it turn out? Well, stay to the end to find out. In this video, I will share the process in creating the story, the actual product, and finally, my thoughts and reflections on it. I'm not an expert in this field, so I started by thinking about what are the core elements of creating the storytelling and came up with the following: plot, visuals, and sound. Story plot is the core of storytelling. Without a narrative, there is no story. For this, I turned to ChatGPT as my generative AI of choice to come up with a story plot. The reason being that compared to Gemini or Meta's Llama, I found it to be the most creative. So I will input a word prompt for ChatGPT to provide a script suitable for a target audience of 3 to 4 years old. And here are the prompt results. As you can see, I've requested it to be in a table format with the left column containing the script and the right column containing the description of the scene. Below the table are the character descriptions as well. It's not too bad for a start, but we shall see how it goes. Next up is visuals, or the mode of storytelling. Essentially, I feel that there are only two methods, which is either through animation or visual novel, where the picture doesn't move. I have opted for the visual novel static picture approach as it is easier, and using generative AI to create pictures is more easily accessible compared to creating videos. So the generative AI that I have chosen for this task is Midjourney, and using the descriptions of the scenery and imagery provided by ChatGPT earlier, I will use them as word prompts to generate the scene. We can see how it turned out here. However, this task is not as straightforward as it seems, and I will elaborate further in my reflections section. The third and last point is the voice of the characters and sound effects. For the voice of the characters, I will be using Murf AI, a paid subscription for usage of AI voice actors. I tried to find as close a match as possible to the characters of the story and will be relying on Canva Pro for some of the sound effects in the story to make the story sound more alive. So now putting all together, may I present to you the short story, Layla and the Magical Kite.
Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there lived a curious girl named Layla. She loved to explore the meadow behind her house. One day, Layla discovers a brightly colored kite tangled in a tree branch in the meadow.
Oh, what's this? A kite stuck in the tree. Let me help you.
The kite comes to life, its face forming on the fabric, speaking cheerfully to Layla.
Thank you, Layla. I'm no ordinary kite. I'm magical. I can take you anywhere in the world. Want to fly with me?
Yes, please. Let's go to the beach first.
Layla replied. The kite lifts Layla into the air. They fly over the fields and mountains, heading toward a sparkling blue ocean. Whoosh! Layla and the kite landed on a sandy beach, where crabs danced and the waves sang.
Where next, Layla?
The kite asks. The kite flutters its tail as Layla jumps with excitement, pointing toward a jungle in the distance. Soon, they soared over treetops into a jungle filled with colorful parrots and mischievous monkeys.
This is amazing. Can we go to the snowy mountains next?
Layla asks excitedly. Layla shivers with excitement, imagining the snow-covered peaks as they rise into the cool, crisp sky. In no time, the kite whisked her to snowy mountains where penguins slid down icy slopes. As the sun sets, the kite told Layla,
It's time to head home now, Layla.
The kite gently glides Layla back to her meadow, where fireflies light up the evening sky. Layla waved goodbye to her magical kite, promising to meet again for another adventure.
And that's the end of the story. So how did the entire process go? Not too bad, I suppose. Let's first start with the script. With the word prompt, it provided a structured answer which fit the request. However, the script felt bland to me, and I thought it was lacking. It was merely describing a simple adventure, and I felt it was lacking something that I can't quite place my finger on. I tried out another word prompt, this time with a request to generate a story with a morale or a learning point, and this time, it seems to have done a better job. I suppose that a children's story with a moral or a learning point relates to me better. Next is the animation process. This is where I encountered some problems. As you would have probably already noticed from the story, it lacked character consistency. Even though I tried to use the same word prompt in describing the little girl or even regenerating the images using a prior image, there will always be something inconsistent with the character, such as the color or pattern of the dress, or even the articles on the character, such as the bag. These are quite glaring issues, and it is difficult to account for. Even if you have to manually change some words in the word prompt, you still won't be able to achieve the image you want. Also, you won't be able to get the image as per the wordings of the word prompts provided, and there will be some slight differences between the image and the word prompt. The last part, which is the sound and sound effects. It is difficult to find a voice that perfectly fits all the characters. In this case, it might have been obvious, but the voice of the girl doesn't match the age of the girl. This is because I was not able to find the most suitable voice for her. The AI voice covers are not sufficient to cover all bases at this point in time. As for sound effects, it is just about trying to find the most appropriate effect for the correct timing. Overall, I think it did not turn out too bad, but it's not fantastic either. It was an interesting experience for me, as there was quite a fair bit of manual tweaking involved in making the product. And that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any thoughts, feel free to share them in the comment box down below. If you liked this video and would like to see more content of this nature, please be sure to like and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching, and until next time.